that the CAD CBC is a type of digital currency that anyone can use. The Federal Reserve would be in charge of creating and controlling it, and the US government would fully back it instead of using the current payment methods. This could be used instead, and it would have benefits like RA's quick payment, settlement, a way to make trades across countries, and the ability to help more people get money. At the moment, more than 130 countries are looking into the idea of creating their own digital currencies that are backed by the government. China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and India have already started trying, and the first test of a digital euro could happen as early as 2028. The United States is still a long way behind, even though more and more details about digital cash are coming out. At that very time, these words belong to the US Congress. The Congress of the United States has clearly given its approval for the use of XRP in the United States. This isn't just for banks and investment businesses. XRP can be used for deals both inside and outside of the United States. This idea is best shown by the Federal Reserve of the United States. It's important to know about this meeting, and the United States is aware of the change in the world. Ripple's helping many countries, such as India and Brazil. China and a few other countries are making their own digital currencies, which will be released by their central banks. The US doesn't want to be behind on this change. And do you know whose company they are working with? You are always welcome to come back to HelpCoin, which is the best place to find anything about XRP. In the same way as the BRICS countries, China, Brazil, Russia, China, and South Africa work together to make a digital currency that all 5 countries can use, the United States of America is on the same road. Let me show you a movie that shows how Ripple and the Federal Reserve of the United States talked about CBDCs all the way back in 2015. Because of this deal, Ripple and the US have been working together behind the scenes. Even though Ripple and the SEC are in a public fight, there was a good chance that Ripple would win the SEC case. Do you still remember how Ripple got the Federal Reserve to accept payments through the FINTNAB method? When they first released the system, the Federal Reserve didn't give Ripple direct credit. Nevertheless, there are signs that they did. With transactions taking only 3 to 5 seconds to complete, the Reserve has talked about the possibility of teaming up with a blockchain startup. They could make it easier and faster to make payments. Gary Gensler has been talking about what the Federal Reserve of the United States could do with Ripple for a long time. President Gensler had faith in the Federal Reserve, which already accepted XRP and Ripple as forms of payment for both domestic and international deals. Still, Gensler had faith in the Federal Reserve. At this point, the SEC was taking civil action against Ripple. Let's talk about what's going now, shall we? Riverbank is now part of the FedNet banking network. Riverbank is a well-known Ripple payment partner, and they use Ripplet to handle transfers. Please follow me as I break this down. This is not just a bank. The payment processor uses Xcurrent and XRP services on Ripplet. Both of these companies use XRP in its ledger to provide liquidity on demand. The fact that Riverbank is now part of FedNet makes it clear that XRapid, Xcurrent, and Ripplet, all of which are based on XRP, will all play a role in the future. This means that the FedNet payment system is ready to use XRP to meet its transaction liquidity needs that come from other places. Because of this, we can expect the value of XRP to rise as its uses and benefits grow. For people who own XRP and are reading this, this is good news for your investment. It's not just a sign of how useful the coin might be in the future that XRP is being used in legitimate banking systems. This shows how quickly things are changing in the world of foreign business. When big banks learn about how quickly, easily, and cheaply blockchain technologies like Ripple's can be used, things start to change in a big way. Also, Gary Gensler's unwavering backing and the work that followed. Those done by banks like Riverbank are just the tip of the iceberg. Many companies are learning about and using XRP and other similar technologies. These new ideas will have an impact on the whole financial sector. Before going any further, I'd like to share some very good news with my viewers. I can make a deal for XRP. To join the group, just do these 3 easy things. Give this video a thumbs up, click the thumbs up button to turn on alerts, and share it with your friends and family to show your support. If we pick a winner, I will make sure that these steps are being taken. We hope everything goes well for everyone. Whenever we reach 60,000 people, we'll let everyone know who won. Let's go back to the subject at hand before we move on. How much XRP is worth and how important the system is becoming. There has been talk that the Federal Reserve of the United States is interested in it and that most people in the United States want to use it. On the other hand, people in countries besides the US are starting to see how useful XRP could be. Several governments, including those of the BRICS countries and even the European Union with its digital euro plan, are looking into the opportunities it offers. The films we've made on these topics offer we will look more closely at how XRP is being used in the digital euro project in Europe and the CBDC and the BRICS countries. We want to stress again that the U.S. interested in XRP not only as a possible CBDC, as we talked about in a different video, but also as a way to improve the efficiency of foreign trade. This is true not only for CBDCs, but for all financial activities, whether they happen in the United States or another country. First, let us look at what this means for the future value of XRP. The value of XRP will change as more people use it, especially big banking institutions like the Federal Reserve in the US, of the digital money. To sum up, a coin's value depends a lot on how many times it can be used. A digital asset like XRP is added to big financial systems. The benefits it brings to transactions are not the only thing that stands out right away. Another thing to think about is how it builds trust and faith over time. Around the world, the banking system is changing very quickly. People want to be able to quickly and cheaply send money across international lines, and electronic transactions are becoming more common. In this situation, cryptocurrencies, especially ones that have been used before like XRP, play a very important role. Significant backing from major countries and financial groups could be the spark that sets XRP apart from other cryptocurrencies. The time we are in now is very important for both companies and people. With all of its support and links, XRP is currently moving in a way that suggests it will have a bright future. But it's important to stay up to date, just like with any other purchase. Pay close attention to how things are changing and make decisions after doing a lot of study. One of the chances that the price of XRP will hit $10,000, 0 cents. This question has been getting a lot of attention in the world of cryptography, and we'll get to it soon. It is important to note that multinational companies, especially those based in North America, are becoming more interested in XRP.